Good morning and welcome to this Thursday session of Yog Online. Sit comfortably and sit tall. Roll the shoulders back. Lift your ears away from the shoulders. Take the arms out to the side to open the chest. Turn the palms to face up. Breathing in, raise up the arms, upper arms in line with the ear. Extend the armpits, the elbows, and the wrist. Join the palms together and release the thumb onto the sternum. Focus on the breath. A slow, gentle inhalation and exhalation. We'll begin by chanting Om 3 times. Take a slow, deep breath in. Om. 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 Slowly release your hands. Open your eyes. Roll the shoulders back. Keep the chest lifted. Turn to face the side and place a support, either foam or a pillow, at the end of the mat. Come onto all fours. Sit back with your buttock onto your heel. Stretch forward and rest the forehead onto the support. This is child's pose, also known as forward virasana. Sit comfortably, release the abdomen, release the back body, and release the front body to the mat. Focus on just the exhalation. This pose has a calming effect on the body and the mind. Soften the abdomen and release the frontal lobe of the forehead to the support. If you don't need a support, you can remove it and place your forehead on the floor. From here, walk your hands back. Come onto your knees. Place your palms under the shoulders. Stretch out your legs. One leg at a time. Keep the weight on the palm and fingers. Breathing in, lift the navel, lift the sternum and the crown of the head. As you breathe out, tuck the tailbone in. Tuck the chin in. We're going to move more dynamically with the breath. Breathe in, up. Breathe out and down. Breathe in and up. Breathe out and down. Feel the navel rise and fall as you breathe in and breathe out. Come back to your neutral position. Breathing in, raise up just the head. And as you breathe out, tuck the chin. Breathing in, lift the crown of the head. Breathe out, tuck the chin. One more time. Breathe in, lift the crown of the head. Breathe out and tuck the chin. Come back to your neutral position and stretch out the right leg in line with the body and extend the left arm across. Toes away from you and fingers away from you. Lengthen your heel away from the hip and lengthen the armpit away from the hip. Gaze forward. Breathe out and release. Change sides. Extend the left leg away from you, toes away from you as well. And stretch the leg away from the hip and stretch out the right arm. Keep the arm extended. Heel away from the hip, armpit away from the hip as well. Look forward. Slowly. One more time. Right leg, left arm. Right arm. Come back onto your knees. If you're having any pain, keeping your knees on the mat, take a soft blanket, place it under your knees. Now we're going to raise up and stretch out the right leg once again. Bend at the knees and draw the heel in. Stretch it out. Bend it in. Stretch it out. Bend it in and release. Let's change legs. Stretch out the left leg first and bend it in. Stretch it out. In. Out. In. One more time, stretch it out, a full extension, heel away from you, toe towards you, and release. Come to sit back once again. Place your fingertips on the floor beside you. Roll the shoulders back. And then lift the crown. Take your knees apart, stretch forward. Look forward, stretch forward. Release the navel to the floor, stretch the armpits away from the hips and release your forehead onto the mat. Use head support if you need. Stretch the arms away. Keep walking the left armpit, then the right armpit, the left armpit, then the right armpit, and push the groins back onto the heel and stretch the trunk. Thereafter, release. Release the navel, release the front body, and release the back body to the mat. Hands back. And now over to the left side. Take both your hands over to the left and stretch the trunk over the left thigh. Pin the right buttock down as you stretch across. Keep the navel in line with the thigh. Stretch the armpits away from the hips and pin down the hips. Stay there. Walk your hands back to center. Stretch forward. Full extension of the armpits away from the hips. Soften the abdomen. Walk your hands back and over to the left. Place both your fingertips beside the right knee and stretch across. Pin the hips down, pin the groins down, stretch the armpits away from the hips and release the head. Back to center. Stretch forward. Cup your fingers and walk your hands forward. Keep moving the groin back and release the head. Release the forehead. Keep the armpits lifted. Now spread the palms, spread the fingers, stretch forward and release the forehead to the mat. Keep moving the groins back. Move the buttock back. And stretch the wrists away from the armpits. Stretch the armpits away from the hips. Keep the abdomen soft. Hands back. Come onto your knees. Place the palms below the shoulders. Breathing in, lift the sternum and lift the crown of the head. Maintain a concave back. Tuck the toes under and lift the hips. Keep the knees bent, lift the hips. Keep lifting the hips and stretch the armpits and the hips away from each other. Shift the weight of the body onto the palms and fingers and keep your heels off the floor. Keep lifting the hip. Thereafter, walk to straighten your right leg, then the left leg with a pedaling action, the right leg, left leg, continue. And now straighten both the legs and keep lifting the hips. Keep the heels off the floor for now. Keep lifting the hip and stretch. If you can, then stretch down the heels to the floor. And release back onto your knees. And sit back. Roll the shoulders back. Place your palms on the floor and lift the armpits away from the hips. One more time, come onto your knees. Palms below the fingers. Stretch out your right leg, keep it there. Gaze forward. Left leg, extend. Tuck the toes under. Lift the hips. And now, lift the right leg. Keep the weight of the body onto the left leg. And both the palms and fingers. Release. And change legs. Lift the left leg. Release. Lift the right. Release. One more time, the left. And release. Keep the knees bent. Lift the hips away from the armpits and work to straighten the legs. Keep moving the hips as high as you can. Slowly release onto your knees. And sit back once more into child's pose and stretch forward. Lift the forehead, soften the abdomen. Your hands back. Up your hands back. Roll the shoulders back. Keep the toes together and keep the knees apart. Roll the shoulders back. Place your fingertips on the floor. Breathing in, raise up the arms. Bend at the elbows and lift the elbows, lift the armpits. Maintain the stretch of the tongue. Cross over the wrists. Palms and fingers on the shoulders and lift the armpits. Feel the space created in the abdominal area. Press the tops of the feet down to give you the lift. Slowly release your hands. One more time, raise up the arms. Change the cross of the wrists and bend the elbows. Place the palms and fingers and now lift the armpits. Lift the elbows and stretch the trunk. Slowly release. Place both your hands on your knees, roll the shoulders back. Keep the arms straight. Lift the navel, lift the sternum, lift the chest and wriggle. Slowly release your gaze forward. Place your fingertips on the floor and come onto your knees. Keep the knees wide, roll the shoulders back. Lift the navel, lift the sternum and lift the chest. Once again, sit back. Join your thighs together. Roll the shoulders back. And now, maintain the extension of the trunk and the softness of the abdomen. Take your fingertips beside you. Roll the shoulders back. Interlock your fingers, rotate at the wrist, turn the palms away from you. Breathe in and raise up the arms. Now keep the knees together. Hinge at the hips and fold forward. Place your trunk onto the thighs and stretch forward. If this is difficult for you, spread your fingers and spread your palms. Now remember, as opposed to the first child's pose, here the thighs are together. Now release the navel onto the floor. Stretch the armpit and release the forehead. Soften the abdomen. Press the tops of the feet onto the floor and release the head. Keeping the legs together. Place your palms and fingers in front of you. Come onto your knees. Feet together, knees together. Tuck the toes under and keeping both legs together. Straighten the legs. Straighten the legs. Extend the arms. And push the thighs back. Move the hips away. Stretch the hips away from the armpits as you extend. Keep the feet together. Move the front thigh to the back thigh. Open the backs of the knees. And release your knees onto the floor. And sit back. If this is difficult for you, then you keep your knees apart. But for now, we're keeping it together. Roll the shoulders back. Stretch forward. Up your fingers. Again, if this is difficult, keep your knees apart. Stretch forward and release the forward. You need to take the knees apart. Rest your buttocks on the heels and stretch forward. Keeping the knees apart is easier. It allows space for the trunk to extend. Your hands back. Back. Take your right hand behind you. Take your left hand over the right knee. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, move the navel, move the shoulder blades, and be pressing the tops of the feet down. You release and change sides. Take your left hand behind you. Take your right hand over the thigh. Breathe in. As you breathe out, move the navel, move the shoulder blades, and move the chin. The gentle twisting action. Slowly release. Interlace your fingers once more. Rotate at the wrists and the palms away from you. Breathe in and lift the armpits, lift the wrist and lift the palms. A full extension of the trunk. Turn the palms to face forward, interlock your thumbs and stretch the trunk. You can choose to keep your knees together or your knees apart. Hinge at the hips, fold forward and extend your fingers and palms away from you. Move the groins back. Back. And come to lie flat on your back. To lie flat on your back, keep your knees up and your feet flat on the floor. Release the abdomen to the floor. Now with both hands, draw both your knees in towards the chest. Open the abdomen and draw your thighs in. This is similar to the pose that we've done earlier on, just that you are now supine instead of prone. Keep drawing the thighs in. Soften the abdomen. Keep the knees up. And with both hands, draw the left thigh into the chest. And focus on the exhalation. Each time you breathe out, draw the left thigh into the chest. From here, straighten the right leg away from you. Focus on the exhalation. Draw the thigh in. Maintain the extension of the spine. Move your ears away from the shoulders. Slowly release. Raise up both knees, keeping your feet flat on the floor. And with both hands, draw the right thigh into the chest. Each time you breathe out, move the thigh into the chest. straighten the left leg away. Just the exhalation. Keep your feet flat on the floor. Join the soles of the feet together and take the knees out for Supta Baddha Konasana. Feel the openness from the pubic area to the navel, from the navel to the sternum, and from the sternum to the heads of the shoulders. Just the exhalation. And feel the openness of the hips, softness of the pelvic area, and the softness in the abdomen. Raise up your knees, keeping your feet flat on the floor. And with both hands, draw both your knees in. Wrap your wrists around the knees. You can interlock your fingers and squeeze your thighs in towards the chest. Rest your hands on the shins if you need to, and squeeze the thighs in towards the chest. Gently roll from side to side, massaging the lumbar. And release your feet up to the mat. From here, straighten your right leg, straighten your left leg, your feet apart, soften the abdomen, and release the hips, release the navel, and release the shoulders. Just the exhalation. Roll the upper arms away, soften the abdomen, roll the thighs up. Place both your hands on the abdomen. Raise up your knees one by one, keeping your feet flat. Feel the softness of the abdomen as you release to the floor. Raise up the right arm all the way past the right heel. Roll over onto your right hand side and spend a few moments here. Press with the left hand to come to sit. Sit in a comfortable position. Roll shoulders back. And feel the extension from the hip to the armpit. Lift the crown of the head. Open the chest. Together. Softness of the abdomen, the openness of the chest, and the lift in the crown of the head. Take a slow, deep breath in. And as you breathe out, release the chin to the chest. And as you breathe in, slowly raise up your head. Release your hands and open your eyes. Have a wonderful day, and we will meet tomorrow.